Hugh Jackman has become the first actor since Christopher Reeve to play the same character in 4 consecutive superhero films.
Don't touch your hair.
Following on from the X-Men trilogy, he's back in X-Men Origins Wolverine.
When it starts, whatever the reason is that you're doing this, focus on that. Maybe it will help.
Trust me, I've been through worse.
No, you haven't.
Wolverine is a fairly classic film archetype. It's really bread and butter of male leading roles, and it has been for many years. Han Solo, Mad Max, Dirty Harry, you know, they're the anti-heroes. They're good guys, but they're not always nice guys.
I think Wolverine's probably the most poppy character, certainly in the films from the X-Men franchise up to now. He's the most dynamic, the most charismatic.
You look, his heart's in the right place, but he just says the wrong thing, and he gets too angry, and he occasionally kills an innocent person. You know, I mean, minor indiscretions, really.
I think it's interesting to start at the very beginning with Wolverine and show when he first sort of reveals this power. As we've demonstrated in other characters in the series.
You see him as a kid, and he had a brother. This brother is Victor Creed, or better known in the comic books as Sabretooth.
And we see how they evolve, we see how they're in different situations, and we slowly see how they diverge.
They were a team that went through their life together. They escaped from their family home, and they went through many, many wars, and you see that until gradually their relationship gets worse and worse, and they become pulled apart.
We're ready.
We're going to make you indestructible. First, we're going to have to destroy you.
The relationship that Stryker has with Wolverine is really one which is quite paternal. He loves him as if he were a son, and yet he despises him because of what he is.
You will be able to withstand virtually anything. It's called adamantium. You're going to have to embrace the other side. Become the animal.
One of the great things for the fans is in this movie we see him transform into the character we know. He wasn't always like, he didn't always have metal claws. He always had the ability to heal, and he always had these bone claws that you see at the beginning of the movie. But one thing we found out in X-Men 2 was that he volunteered to be experimented on. He volunteered for this, and in this movie you're going to find out why. Let's do this.
I almost forgot.
I want new ones.
What do you want him to say?
Wolverine.
I'm not sure where the original idea comes from making Wolverine as opposed to X-Men 4, but Wolverine is certainly the most popular character. That's the one that audiences seem to identify with and are interested in the journey and the struggle that Wolverine has.
Origin stories are always the most fascinating, in not only in the superhero world, but in any story that you're telling. The beginning is what we're all fascinated about, because it dictates to us how we got to where we are now, and possibly where we might be in the future.
You get to really find out why Wolverine is Wolverine, where the name comes from, his claws, the relationship between him and his brother, why he lost his memory, all that stuff.
If you understand your mother and father, you'll know who you are, you know, and the origin story, certainly for a superhero, is incredibly important, because it shows the audience who they were before they are this, you know, legendary character.
This is your idea of an idea?
I'm trying to help you out, Logan. Dukes don't like you that much, and you know it.
The feeling's mutual.
Well, use them gloves, man. Dance with him a little bit. Allow him to let his anger out on you. Figure if you do that, he'll probably tell you everything you want to know.
Come on, man, look at him. You have a corn. Is there even a stretcher big enough to take this guy out of here?
Whoop his ass.
You want it?
Dance with him, Fred. Just like I told you.
What's that supposed to do? You want to dance with me?
Come on, Fred.
Oh, that feels good. Hey, guess what?
Logan is in a platoon of mutants that are brought together to go on various missions.
Stryker's the leader, and he's organized it as basically a covert ops group.
They have these rather complex relationships with each other. which I suppose any platoon would have.
My position, along with Logan, is to basically wreak havoc. That's what we do.
For one reason or another, on one of these missions, there was a problem. Something went wrong, and the group split. Well, actually, the group ended, and they split one way or another. And I believe it's Ryan's character, my character, and Liev's character. They sort of follow the General Stryker one way. And for whatever reason it may be, Wraith and Barnell and Fred, they go a separate way. And then Logan's kind of in the middle.
Well, well, well. Look what the cat dragged in.
Guys, whatever this is, take it outside.
Why? You don't call? You don't write? How else am I supposed to get your attention?
I play Victor Creed, who essentially, at the beginning, has the same powers as Logan. But Logan goes through the Weapon X program and Creed doesn't, so an imbalance of power is created. But initially, Victor's arguably the stronger.
The Sabretooth Wolverine rivalry is one of the great rivalries in comic book history. They are perennial enemies and have been for many years and will go on for many years.
Well, as far as I know, the relationship between Wolverine and Sabretooth has always been tantalizingly withheld. It's always implied that there is a deep relationship between the two, but that the story has yet to be told. Well, our writer, David Benioff, and the folks at Fox and Marvel decided to commit to the idea that Sabretooth was, in fact, Logan's brother.
Somewhat at the core of our movie, Wolverine, is Logan dealing with his animalistic nature. Victor Creed has the same animalistic nature. The difference is Victor Creed embraces his animal, and Wolverine rejects it.
One of the most fascinating things about a superhero story is finding out the attributes that a certain superhero has. And the great thing about the X-Men franchise is that there's always new attributes to bring in.
Wolverine has some qualities and certain aspects to him that are sacred and are right. Number one, he's badass. And I don't think in X-Men 1, 2, or 3, we've had moments, I don't think he's been badass enough. So that was in this film, he's going to be badass. And I think that's what the fans want. And if the fans have him badass, they'll take him in a pink tutu, they'll take him, it won't matter, as long as he's badass. I know that. Secondly, there's certain things about his past and other characters and things he's been involved in, and we've used those. We've also got some things in this movie that only the fans will appreciate. It won't spoil the movie for other people, but they'll just they'll go, oh, I get it, that's cool.
So what brings you to our fair city?
Victor Creed.
And who's there?
The man I'm gonna kill. I think a lot of our life and daily life is constrained. A lot of our daily life, this is what you should do, and we've been told what we should do, and that's right. I mean, I'm a parent too, you should have manners, you should do this. It's just so much fun not having any of those rules.
Those are mighty nice tags you have on there, sir. The man who took me wore tags just like them. Hey, now, bub, you listen to me.
Kyle. That's a wrap.